This. Boom. Clap for the Amy.
Clap for.
We did our part. Amy, it's time to do your part. Let's get this thing up.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's a sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I've been to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me.
I wish I could do it, but I mean, somebody's got to take control of this.
Well, you are more than welcome to take the soundboard, Moan Ferrer. Okay, taking to the sound.
You've done such a great job on it. Why would I change that?
It's like me with the agenda. That's how I feel.
Hey, good point. We've talked about this before. Why fight?
Why fight when we know our own roles?
I don't like fighting.
Speaking of roles, roster, you got a little bit of a role. Let me tell you the role that you need to play. The role you need to play is outside of listening to this wonderful podcast called The Sports Show, episode 277. You also need to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look up Sports Show Podcast, blue and white logo on the YouTube. On Instagram, same thing, blue and white logo, at Sports Show Podcast. Please subscribe to the channels. Please share it with a friend. It'll be great. Thank you very much. All the wonderful work that Amy does. Thank you very much. All the reels and the videos and all that. We're nothing without that wonderful lady. CJSW 90.9 FM. We're on the third Tuesday every single month.
Yeah.
2 time slots. For all of you listening, they are doing the funding drive right now. And the funding drive, if you want to donate, help keep the lights on to the CJSW, it's a university station. As I say, we're on once a month. We do our Greek hour. We also do our sports show on it. And it's really a subsidized quasi-volunteer position. There's only a few paid spots. Everything else is help subsidized by the university. So every bit helps. If you do want to donate, you just go to CJSW/donate. You can actually find and donate to the sports show. That just lets us know and lets them know, what shows for their tracking. So it helps us out. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, all the channels. We're there every single day. Every week of every hour of everything. It's there. It doesn't go anywhere. It's the internet. It sticks.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate fly trap of info.
Speaking of fly trap, I know that's why you brought it up. You saw that fly? This is why you need to donate. There's a fly in here.
Buddy, I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, but throughout the podcast with people watching on the YouTube, you might see a fly coming around. This is why you got to donate. It's rotting away in here. It's rotting away. We need your help. Here, CJSW, please. Pledge today.
Conditions are bad. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you week in to open up your hearts. Now we're asking you to open up your minds. And just
your
think
wallets.
for a second. If you could reach in that wallet, I don't care if it's Bitcoin. Can we get a sports coin?
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. I have triggers with Dogecoin.
Do you? Why?
Because I own some.
Oh, you mean owned?
Owned.
Owned.
Dude, I think my cut at the height was 1.4 million had I kept it in that 7 years. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, neither am I.
Yeah.
That's
crazy, eh?
You see that window? See if you can throw yourself through it. I don't know, just throwing that out.
I'm Dimitri Karolis.
Hey.
Come on, 1.4 million?
That's
high chew money for me.
High chew money. Brought to you by...
We need that money. We need that damn money.
Speaking of guys, this is so funny. Speaking of guys that got destroyed by crypto, it's our friend. I got to bring him up. He's kind of the guy first guy I'm bringing up, Tom Brady.
I was going to say, don't say Sam Friedman.
No.
Friend.
Sam Friedman is the guy that screwed over Mr. Tom Brady. But the reason I'm bringing up Tom Brady, we've said this for the last 277 shows. This guy in a previous life, 100% saved 100 burning kids from a burning church. He did something miraculously because the guy, even retired, can't lose. What am I talking about? The Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA are now two-time WNBA champions. He's a part owner. Money. It's still money either which way. And this week alone, he got the approval from the NFL chairmen and the rest of the owners to be minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Money. Again. He's like, don't worry, Giselle, we only lost $10 million or something like that with that. I'll get it back in 10 minutes. Relax. Take it easy. What do you mean you want to break up? It's okay. The guy just can't lose. Dimitri, in all honesty, man, I was thinking about it last night. And it was just like, what do you think he actually did? Now, here's his biggest feat. He's 7-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
He's an owner of a WA franchise. He's now a part owner of an NFL franchise. But if he's able, in some way, to help Mark Davis look cool, that, my friends, could be the biggest accomplishment of his life.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, let's say he got Mark Davis to actually be cool. Got him a nice haircut. Dyed his hair maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Got him to work out. No more tomatoes because they're a nightshade vegetable. He's not down for that. Gets him started eating the avocados. All that stuff. All of a sudden, in 1 year, Mark Davis, like full abs, ripped up, good.
Yeah.
And then you go to Tom. Tom, what was your biggest accomplishment? It's got to be that over the 7
You know
Super
what?
Bowls.
This is a bigger task than the Seinfeld episode where they tried to get people to switch sides. Big task.
Big task.
This is...
And if anyone can do it,
it's Thomas Brady.
It's this guy. Next thing I want to bring up before we get into the NHL. I don't know if you heard about the Toronto Maple Leafs. They started with a goal. You know, like a lot of teams, after you score a goal, they want to put on a little music, put on a little fun. You know what I mean? Here we do the Yahoo here in Calgary. You know what I mean? And some other, I don't know, are they still playing Sandstone or something?
Darude.
Oh, Darude, is that what they're playing? So, Toronto. And you know what's funny? You can tell how old you are, or how, like, by the guys that actually react to the song. They're like, yeah, they can't help it. They're bouncing to it.
When you go back and you're like, I literally had that on the playlist, like everyone else,
of course,
over and over, and you're like, that's an aggressive song.
If you think about it, it has no ending. It could go forever. It's a loop.
It's like Lamb Chop's Play Along. This is a song that doesn't end.
So in wrestling, you got your intro music, you got the great entrance.
Yeah.
Baseball, actually, a lot of baseball is doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
And now, obviously, the NHL has incorporated this for years, but Toronto's trying to change their music after 2 games where Austin Matthews scored 2 hat tricks. They've decided we got to change the music. It's just not getting the people pumped up. We'll talk about it maybe later, but any song right off the top of your head that you'd be like, no, that's my song. That's my jam for working out. Maybe for if you were Austin Matthews, you have 2 games in a row where you score hat tricks. What song do you want to hear 6 times, basically?
Oh, that crazy. I think For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica.
You think so?
That's up there for me, man.
Really, huh?
I
think anything by Bon Jovi. I don't know why.
I find Bon Jovi a little cheesy.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth if I come over this table.
Like, I find Bon Jovi.
You watch your mouth.
I'm not saying I don't like Bon Jovi.
I'm just saying as well. Watch your mouth.
Little cheese. When people are like, oh my God, I'm such a Bon Jovi fan, it's like, okay, fine. Do you know anyone else?
Okay, there is another guy. There's another couple of songs out there. We'll
Better Hair, Rod Stewart or Bon Jovi? Who?
Oh, Bon Jovi.
See, I think Rod Stewart.
Yeah, because you're old school. You're that guy. You're that guy. I guess you. Okay, who's got better hair? Jagger, old Jagger, new Jagger.
I think the new one. I think the new Mick Jagger's got better hair.
I'm surprised you didn't say the old.
Yeah, I think the new one actually. It looks better, more conditioned.
Have you noticed that Moulet is back in society?
Wow.
Yeah.
And not in a great way either.
You know what? Not bad. You can tell who plays hockey, I guess is what
Fair
it was,
point.
right?
Fair
That's
point.
the thing. Speaking of hockey, let's get right into it. We're about a week into the NHL season. We're hopping over the boards, as you will.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, what about this? Hip check.
Whoa.
You like that one? So we're a week in.
That's your NHL version of chair shot. I got it. I got it.
So here I'm watching the NHL. First game of the season, I'm watching the Flames and the Oilers. We talked about it last week. Oilers get shit canned. They just absolutely got destroyed by the Vancouver. A couple days later, they're like, hey, Vancouver, why don't you come into this barn? Why don't you come over here and fight us? Lose 4-3 again, okay? Since then, they went down to Nashville, made a game of it. Toronto. What I'm getting at is we're only a week in, 3 or 4 games, depending on which team you cheer for, maybe 5 now. And the teams that were kind of being celebrated to watch them because this is their year. This is it, everybody. The Torontos, the Edmontons, even the Buffalo. You know, like, watch out, here's a hot team. They're not playing up the snub. Now, again, it's early. Are you worried? Not worried.
No, not worried.
Really?
Yeah, not worried. I wait till about game 10.
Right.
At game 10, you're kind of like, all right, that now everyone's kind of settled in and done their things. No, I'm not overly worried yet.
See, you know what? It's not that you know where I'm at?
Like, it's a long season.
I'm a 5 on the Richter scale right now, and I'll tell you why. I'm a little bit higher because the
Sorry to cut
American
you
thing,
off. Are you talking about, okay, maybe I should go back here. You're talking about the teams that should be.
Like these teams that
These
I'm talking
teams,
about.
okay,
or
not
any other
just-
team you could think of. Carolina comes to mind as well.
Right. Okay, no, okay, go ahead then. I see where you're going. I think I agree with you then.
I'm just saying, I'm at a level 5 right now out of 10 where I'm worried for these teams because, there's that stat. We've talked about it in the past. American Thanksgiving, which is about a month away. If you're not in that playoff, wild card and or position to be in the playoffs at that time, it's a very difficult ride for the rest of the season to get into the playoffs. It's like 78% of the teams that are currently in the playoffs at that time will get into the playoffs. The rest have to battle their way in, kind of thing, right? I look at a team like Edmonton. Their biggest problem is that defense core. I look at Toronto. Again, top heavy. I don't know what the problem is there. I'm less worried about Toronto than I am for Edmonton. Carolina, have teams figured it out? So you're not worried in any capacity when it comes to that, you're saying?
With Toronto, not so much.
Right.
Because Toronto just showed that they can score. Toronto showed that their big players can show up.
Right.
Because if you look at who's putting points on the board, it is the right people that are supposed to be doing the points on the board. So they can figure it out. Edmonton, yeah, I'm worried. Yeah, Edmonton, I'm actually very much worried. That's a systematic breakdown. Like back to Vancouver like that. Sorry, that can't fly.
You can't fly with that.
Like that can't fly.
Hey, look, some teams just
11
might have your
goals
number.
to 4 to
This is what I'm
start it. Now
This
I
is
know
what I'm
they
saying.
went in and they kicked the crap out of Nashville.
Yeah, but Nashville's
but-
not expected to do anything.
But exactly. Like they should have. It's like you had the red carpet rolled out for you for the season. Yeah, I'm worried about it. All eyes are on Edmonton this year. Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, this experiment just can't work that much longer. Like, do something now. But you're right. For me, it's Darnell Nurse and the defense. It sucks.
Yeah.
He's not that good.
No.
He makes so many mistakes, it's not even funny.
Well, you know what? As much as I love picking on him, it's basically everybody. Plus, throw in the goaltending just hasn't been where it needs to be. And then let's talk about, okay, we've decimated the Oilers enough, and we'll get more to them. Hopefully, it's kind of fun to talk about it when they're not doing well because it's a storyline. But let's talk about some teams that are making some strides. Let's like the Philadelphia, Boston. Still, not decimated, but, guys left. Everyone was picking them after winning the regular season, best record of all time. Not a lot of people had them pegged to have a good season. Boston having a good start. And the Senators and Detroit. Any thoughts on those teams kind of making stride right now?
Boston, what a well-run machine that is.
They really are, yeah.
Like, that's just a good group of guys. You think Marchand's gone? Like, was it going to change that much? No, but it was a change, but they haven't missed a beat. I love me my Ottawa.
Of course.
I love me. It was my Ottawa and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Philly surprising me.
Yeah.
To start off for sure.
That's the Tortorella effect.
The Tortorella effect. And who else? Detroit.
Buddy.
That's a fun team, man.
That's good.
So I got a colleague's husband is a Detroit fan.
Yeah, same with me.
We were chatting about it, and I'm like, what a story. He's like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a little exciting. He goes, it feels a little different this year. I like it, man.
I like them too. DeBrincat, coming over, I think was a great play. Yzerman doing it again, getting that guy. I saw this week, I was watching some sports show, and they had some odds. He's a plus 8,000, okay? Not bad money to throw down on DeBrincat to win the Rocket Richard trophy. Maybe. You never know. He's got the talent around. I know it's a long shot bet. Obviously,
it's a long shot, but if it's
hey,
plus 8,000, why wouldn't you take
why
it
wouldn't
in a weird universe?
Yeah, and then teams that are just not able to start. I mean, you got the Caps. They just can't seem to do anything.
Holy flat tire.
Talk about, right? The Jets, same thing. Like, they got all the right pieces. Why are they just not molasses? Like, I don't know what's wrong with those guys. And then the Sharks are just horrible. Like, I don't know what's happening with that team. It's like going back to when they first came into the NHL. Do you remember when they came back? It was horrible.
And the Sharks have now traded for Pat Falloon.
That was the best. Pat Falloon. Jordan was it Choo Choo? There was a guy. There was a player that he scored like 50 goals one year. Choo Choo was his
What,
name?
are you thinking Jordan? Or you're thinking
Sure.
Tutu?
Not Tutu. There was a guy. I could have sworn his last name was Choo Choo though.
Oh, Chichu.
Chichu.
Sorry, I'm like, what is it?
Yeah, see, I was close.
But the Ricci, the Chichu, the Falloon, the Arturs Urbe.
Yeah, Nolan. Nolan. No, what was his? last name.
Oh, my
Nolan.
goodness.
It'll come.
Owen Nolan.
Owen Nolan. Calgary Flame, elite. He gets a standing ovation every time he comes into the Saddledome. Some goldies. Some good ones. Some good ones there. All right, let's jump over to, I saw this other thing with the NHL this week. I mean, they're only a weekend, so there's not a lot to talk about. ESPN came out with their top players, right? And obviously McDavid at number 1. They've got Makar 2, McKinnon, Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes at number 4, okay? And there were some other reports out there with their top, where he's in the 20, they got him at 4. I love the Jack Hughes, don't get me wrong, but 4? I don't know. Austin Matthews at 5, Leon Draisaitl, Mikko Rantanen. This guy's starting to make a run, and if you just counted with your fingers, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 Avalanche in the top 7. And then Nikita Kucherov and Jack Eichel kind of round out the top 10, okay? Which name are you surprised is not in the top 10? Like right now, I just gave you those guys.
Yeah.
But who did I miss? I'll give you an example. Okay?
Yeah, for me, like I'm just thinking, like
Mitch Marner. Why isn't Mitchie getting any love?
Well, I'm wondering how Jack Hughes just automatically bumped Mitch Marner.
Okay.
What about Pasternak?
I swear to God, he's written right here. Pasternak, a couple years ago, 66 goals. He was number 15 on this list.
Yeah, that one's a little aggressive. Like I'm just trying to go through.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
We loved him during the playoffs last year. He's Calgary's own. Well, he used to be. Matthew Tkachuk. If I told you what number he was in, you wouldn't believe me. He's in the 20s. 20s!
That's crazy.
Matthew Tkachuk. Where last year we were putting this guy on a pedestal going, he's taking this Florida team to the Stanley Cup, and he's in the 20s.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm really wondering about this list now that you keep going. Like, well, I'm just like, how did Jack Hughes? I love him.
Yeah, I love him too.
Maybe top 10, sure. I guess I don't know.
I think he's top 10. 4, no. I don't think he's 4.
But has he proven anything yet?
That's the thing. Maybe this list is based on the potential of this year as well. But it said 2023, 2024 top players in the NHL, right? At number, and I'm not even joking.
Wow.
You know who didn't make the list? And I'm not even joking. As much as I loved giving him our, and it doesn't matter because when he comes to Calgary, he will get a standing ovation. Gaudreau. Didn't make the list. Which, as much as I like to give the guy a hard time, he's a good player.
It's a great player.
Not good enough on this list. I think it's because he's in Columbus.
Where was Kucherov on there?
He was number 9.
See, how did... Okay.
But the Kuch is okay still. Granted, he takes basically the year off. He does the Kawhi Leonard thing.
Yeah.
He's off all year. Oh, I hurt my ankle. Off all year. Plays a couple of sparing games. Ow, 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 my leg hurts. Then comes in the playoffs and rips it up.
Kucherov.
Brilliant.
More like Kucher days off.
No, so you got Pasternak.
Sorry.
The Tkachuk one surprises me.
Yeah.
Or even the Barkov. There's another guy.
It just goes to show you that, like, sometimes these people, I swear they write lists like this just for clickbait and hits.
Of course. Well, they got mine.
They got your attention.
They got me.
Yeah.
They got me.
They got you.
No, you know what? Again, we're starting early into the season. There isn't a lot to report on just because it's the same old stuff, you guys. It really is. It's starting to get good, though. I am going to say.
There's no real storylines yet. I want a little bit of controversy. This is where you need to bring in a couple ringers, even if they just leave the NHL after the first 10 games. But, get some drama going on.
Yeah. What are you thinking of the first week? Are you liking some of the play? What are you thinking of the play overall? Like how do you
actually? You know what? The level of hockey overall is pretty good. And you know what I like? And it's just because we're in the West and where we are in the West in Calgary is I'm watching more and more Seattle games.
Yeah.
And I like that Seattle team. That's a fun team to watch, man.
I agree.
That's a really fun team to watch. So I think the NHL just needs to do a better job of promotion.
Yeah.
They started hot, and now it's like you did the Crosby Bedard thing. You got people excited. Keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep putting money into marketing.
Agreed.
The product. The hockey kind of speaks for itself.
It's funny you say that because the one thing the NHL is talking about this week, I think they're voting on it in the next couple of days, the draft. They're actually thinking about not making it a standalone place. So you can do the draft from home. They're thinking of doing the draft like Zoom, where now you go to an arena, some city's hosting it, and all the teams are expected to go. They're thinking for some reason, I can't remember what it was, and it's probably money. They just don't want to do it that way. They're thinking that somehow it hinders the whole event. I think it's a horrible idea. Because the whole thing, like look at the NFL. They had 500,000 people in Nashville for the NFL draft. Do I expect 500,000 people to go to the NFL or NHL draft? No. But, you got something going on. Let these kids keep going with it. They're showing up in their nice suits now. They got a couple, their personality starting to show. Don't wreck it, NHL. Don't wreck it. Leave it alone.
Can't some things just stay the way they are? Like let's be honest. And the other thing as a player, it's nice to go there. You say, you're wearing your nice suit. You got your family around.
Yeah.
You're doing this. You get called up. You walk up. You get to take. Come on. That's a dream for those players.
Couldn't agree more.
Man, why? This is just bugs me. I swear it's our society now too, Mitch. It's like everything just needs to be changed and different.
I know.
Why?
I know.
Why?
Because it was working. They're like, whoa, this is working? No. Wait,
hey, you don't see the Colonel changing the KFC recipe, albeit he's not around anymore. But if he was,
I don't
they're
think
not going to be like, hey, let's add a 16th spice. Why?
Why would you do that?
Why?
That makes no sense.
It's good. Let it go.
One thing I've noticed in the NHL this year so far, old school hockey's back. I have so many fights. Everyone's fighting. Don't get me wrong. I kind of like it. But have you noticed it? Fights everywhere lately.
I love the fighting.
Hey.
You know how I feel about the fighting. It's entertaining.
It is entertaining. Absolutely.
It's a necessity. You know what's the next step?
What's that?
They should do celebrity fights. One of those NHLers.
Ooh.
See, I never understood why. I can understand it because it's before his time.
Mm-hmm.
He was before its time, I should say.
Sure.
But guys like George Larocque.
Yes.
If you got a ringer in the NHL, go fight Jake Paul.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
You know?
Well, he'll take the money. He'll take the money.
Fight a UFC guy.
Now you're into something.
Brawl. Actual
brawl.
Yeah.
I don't have this on the agenda, but can we talk about that for 1 second? The Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis last week, they had their...
Yeah, why is it not on the agenda?
Well,
That's
because,
news.
to be honest, it was. But you know what? Here's the thing with Slate, and this is why I'm bringing it up, and you're bringing it up. We talk to sports. I don't know if I want to classify... it's great, as you said a second ago, clickbait. It's great, fun drama to watch. But, dude, I'm getting a little tired of all of this. And I'll be honest with you, because... when I see Logan Paul just excited that he knocked out a guy that's an MMA guy, not a boxing guy. He trains specifically boxing and wrestling.
Yeah.
This other guy doesn't. He's just an MMA guy. Okay, you beat him in boxing. You know where you'd really impress me? All you guys, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, all you guys. All right, you beat them all in boxing. Let's reverse it now. Since you guys like fighting the UFC guys, one fight as a box, one fight in the UFC cage, and then between the two, let's judge how well you did.
Okay. I disagree with you.
Sure.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You, and I'm saying you specifically.
Me. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you...
Don't make me get up.
If you train boxing,
right,
recreationally,
sure,
and I'm not, and if you yourself
again
fought
me,
you, Mitch, okay, not hypothetical Mitch, real Mitch,
okay,
that
the Mitch one,
the Mitch, okay,
me. Okay,
you, just waiting for it.
It's done.
Okay, so you train recreationally in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
If you right now fought Anderson Silva,
right,
and I came up to you and said, Mitch, you're just a podcast guy,
right?
You know, financial guy. Yeah, you train recreationally in boxing. Big deal. You beat Anderson Silva.
Right.
Wouldn't you look at me and say, dude, do you realize I'm not a boxer? I've only been doing this for 2-3 years.
Hold on.
So Jake Paul,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Jake Paul is not a boxer.
Right.
He's a celebrity YouTube boxer.
Okay.
He's a guy who went in recreationally, did some sport. There's the only difference between me and Jake Paul is Jake Paul decided to go on and actually fight professionally.
Sure.
Okay, because I'll tell you, if I fought a guy that was a trained fighter and won, that's the equalizer, Mitch.
Okay.
So the flack that they get for not fighting real boxers, no. Those guys are accepting the fight. And those guys, that Dylan Dennis, he even said it, he made more money.
Yes.
So thank you, Paul brothers.
Listen to me. I'm not okay. You're mixing the two things together.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. And
You're hating on the Paul.
No,
I will not have you hate on the Paul brothers.
Hey, you know how I feel about Logan Paul and the WWE. I think these two are phenomenal marketers. Do I like them personally? Do I like how they go about their business? Not their biggest fan, but major respect. Look, me and you have been doing this pod for 6-7 years, man. One time we talked to these guys, we'd be blown up. Okay?
Yeah.
No disrespect to who they are and what they... Yeah, let's call them. Tag team fight. So, no, these guys, man, I got all the respect. But here's the thing. Where you go back to the recreational thing, okay? If I recreationally run, argument's sake, or I recreationally play hockey or whatever, and I'm taking on a guy that doesn't do that on the daily. And when we say recreational, let's be very clear. Jake Paul and Logan Paul have the accessories and the media and the money to train more than the mediocre guy, more than the midday. These guys are legitimately working out as though they are boxers or fighters.
I agree.
There's a huge difference there between if you and me fought Anderson Silva versus how they fight. These guys are training, they're fighting because they don't want to look silly either, obviously, right? Give me their resources, give me their money, and I think yourself or myself, me, Mitch,
you,
I think I would do okay. I'm not saying I'd beat Anderson Silva. I give him major respect on that. But going back to the sport thing, dude, these guys are making it like, I would take them a lot more serious, I swear to God. Take somebody on in that industry. I'm not saying go and fight in the UFC. I'm saying fight an actual, even amateur boxer, and then you're starting to get my attention. When Jake Paul took on Tommy Fury and he ended up losing, that shows me that they're great and they're almost there, but they're not there yet.
Yeah, no,
Okay? That's it.
Of course, but I like what they're doing, and the reason is because you're getting more eyes on it. There's obviously a market for it, and also. These guys are, they have fans. People want to see it.
Absolutely.
And the thing is they've done, where they're smart, is they did it the Mayweather way. Being the bad guy.
Yes.
Not the good guy.
Never be the good guy.
Never be
the money's in the bad guy.
Because there's more money in wanting these guys to lose so stinking bad.
Yes. Agreed.
As opposed to...
Right.
Oh, let's cheer on these wonderful Paul brothers.
Agreed.
Got it. They turned heel.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But to say like, oh, it doesn't count because they're fighting. Dude, Dylan Dennis has been fighting.
Yes.
And eating punches.
Yes.
And kicks and this and that for 2+ decades.
Yes, I agree. Listen, all I'm saying...
He actually had... These MMA fighters, in all honesty... should be beating the boxers. They actually out of fighting experience alone, they have more repetitions.
But you're mixing fighting with boxing again. If there was an actual fight where they can do what they're trained to do, those guys are dead.
Listen, here's the difference. The boxers never opened up their mouth that they could crush the MMA guys. It's the MMA guys that are like, you guys don't do real fighting. We're real fighters. We could, yeah. Now you got a Disney star character, a part-time podcast WWE guy. Logan Paul's only been in the gym for 5 years now, taking on your guys' Hall of Fame Golden Star GOATs.
I agree.
They picked the fight with these guys, not the other way around.
I agree and I disagree.
McGregor picked the fight with Mayweather.
Yeah, and you know what? He lost. He landed a lot of punches, as everyone talks about, that a lot of other actual boxers never did. Did okay, still lost. But let's call it what it is. This is all about money, man. This is all about the money.
Of course,
McGregor is living off that for the rest. That's generational money. Well,
he looks rough, man.
Oh, he looks horrible. But that would too if I busted my leg open and have $100 million and throwing, guardrails through buses. Like, yeah, things are rough, man.
McGregor looks like every Greek dad at about 1:30 a.m. at a Greek party trying to give philosophical advice.
It's true.
Hey, he's a fucking that's what you. Hey, fair play to him. Hey, you're just like, yeah.
So
like, what? So don't drink and drive. Got it. What?
But they're dangling their keys. Weird. Okay, real quick in baseball, I gotta say this. I'm impressed by the Houston Astros.
Oh, these guys.
7 times to the ALS, and now they're on their way to the World Series. 7 times. I don't care how many times they cheated. They cheated once that we know of. 7 straight times.
Get your garbage cans ready. Get them ready because these guys.
Come on.
These guys, these Astros.
I like them.
I can truly say, forget you, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I'm a Houston
Same with me.
Astros fan. You know what? In my Rushmore, you got the Astros.
Yeah.
You got Bonds.
Yeah.
You got Armstrong.
Yes.
Listen, they can win cheating. They can win without cheating. Any way you want it.
I agree, man.
Man.
And when they got Altuve, who's the little guy, He's the little guy. He's hitting home runs. You can't fake that. It's my boy. It's my boy.
Buddy, I got to tell you that these Astros, like they really are the Patriots of baseball.
100%.
Like they've, they at any lengths necessary, but they're back.
And what are you going to say now when they win it again?
What?
Then what?
What?
Nothing.
Back to back.
Altuve is Tom Brady. So we're off to NFL, the juggernaut. We are 41% into the season.
Are you doing math?
I did some math.
You're a math guy.
We're week 7. Divided by 17, 41%.
Boom.
So next week will be a basically halfway point. But real quick, I want to talk about it. Right now, where we said earlier about the NHL teams, who do you like? Now you can actually kind of determine. But here's the problem, man. Yeah. I have no idea what the hell's going on. All right? I'm going to go through Super Bowl contender or pretender. Are you ready?
Contender or pretender.
You got it.
Brought to you by Mitch Hodges.
Philly.
Contender.
The 49ers.
Contender.
Dallas.
Pretender. Yeah.
The Lions. I know, right?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going to pretender.
The Bucks.
Pretender.
And the Seahawks.
Contender.
Really?
Yeah.
So what I did, I basically just took the best records in the NFC and just went through it. Because
the Seahawks, it's weird. They got something.
There's something there. But still, you know what? It's the division they're in. That's kind of why they are where they are. So then let's go over to the AFC, all right? I'm throwing this name in, even though they're sucking right now, but we'll see. Maybe they can turn it around. The Bengals.
You know what? They are a contender, but no, you got to go pretender right
The
now.
Chiefs.
Contender.
The Ravens.
Pretender. Until you prove me otherwise.
The Bills.
Pretender.
See? And the Chargers.
This year, pretender.
And last one, just because they played on the weekend or on Thursday and it was not bad, the Jags.
Contender.
See, if you're right now, I wrote it down. You have Philly as a contender, 49ers contender. You have the Chiefs contender and the Jags contender. That could be like when you really pull that onion back. This is not a very good list.
You know, it's funny because over the course there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but hold on a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna say a couple 3 things over.
Go
here.
ahead, I'm listening.
Over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
The game. Was it the Monday nighter? What are we talking about here? No,
Thursday night.
Thursday nighter.
Yeah.
Our dark horses.
I know.
I was watching with intent.
Right.
We're looking pretty good.
Not bad.
You know what? That tight end, I can't remember who it was.
Yes, Moreau.
Thank you. He screwed it up.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, the Saints probably maybe win the game.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep.
Anyways, point being is the Bradshaw. He was like my you copied my dark horse in Jacksonville.
Right.
Go, what are you talking about? I go, this is the point of the podcast.
Right.
It's time stamped when we said it.
That's a good point.
So if you go back, those 4 teams, what did we say?
What did we say?
Philly.
Yep. 49ers.
49ers.
Yep.
You had Dallas in there.
I did.
I agreed.
Yep.
That's kind of in the mix.
Fair enough.
So we're on par. We're
on par.
For the
We're hitting
course.
the go. We're good.
What do we do the other side? KC.
Yep.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Woo!
Woo! Dark horse.
Yep. I had
Jags.
the Saints. You had the Jags. Yeah.
Right. But
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're par for the course.
Yes. We're doing very well.
So we're doing well, is what I'm saying.
You know what else I heard?
What?
Bradshaw's listening. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's big.
You like
That's
that?
huge. I like that. All right, real quick. If you had to pick an MVP of the season so far, who'd you pick? Now look at what I'm doing.
Whoa.
I am covering this. If you get what I have here, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to broadcast it. Watch this. Okay, go.
If I have to pick an MVP this year.
Right now.
Oh man, this is Mitch. This is a really, 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 really tough one for me because I actually think the guy who's playing the best is so far is Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh,
right? Like
that's not who I had.
Yeah, no. I like him a lot. I like what he's doing, but I think can I tell you?
Yeah, of course.
Now that it's coming to me, because I've never reflected on this.
Sure,
buddy. There's something to be said about Christian McCaffrey.
So. I don't have him either. I have Tyreek Hill. He is showing me right now that it wasn't Mahomes. It was him. That speed that this guy has. But he's on par right now to shatter the record for wide receivers, over 2,000. He's on par to destroy everything. And the guy, every time you watch him and he has those big games, please watch his highlights. It looks like he's running by himself. And there is a guy with him.
He's nuts.
It is absolutely impressive what this guy's speed is all about. It's crazy. I mean, he's with other NFL elite runners.
You're right.
And it's like watching a kid and an adult run with each other. It's absolutely amazing. All right. Old cousin Jim, special advisor to the pod. When it comes to NFL picks, last week we didn't take one because we were disgusted with his Dallas pick from a couple of weeks ago. It was so bad. I said, you have to redeem yourself. This is the week. He goes, do I go with a light team or a heavy team? I said, if you get the light team, like a light game, and you get it wrong, you might be kicked off.
Yeah, no, strategically, Jim, you can't do that.
Right. So he manned up. He goes, I'm going to take the heavy game. It's the Philly-Miami game.
Wow.
Old cousin Jim has put in his prediction. The line, it's in Philly. The line is Philadelphia -3. And the seven-time sports advisor, star, pick of the week. I don't know. I got to come up with a better name for him.
Why doesn't he come up with it?
I was going to call him Jimmy Jammer's Jizzy Plays, but the point is, if anyone's got any ideas,
Isn't
let me
that a
know.
movie?
It might be. I think I saw it last night. Well, parts of it anyways. Anyways, old cousin Jim, he's got Philly -3 against Miami.
Yeah, I like that.
Jim, you pull that off. They cover the 3. He was thinking about teasing it. I said, I'll give you the tease if you want it. He said, no, I want my reputation back. Philly -3 against maybe the best team in the NFL. By the way, Miami should have been in that contender list.
Did he want to take your 5-star?
He did.
He can't do that.
He can't do it now. No.
Not even just for him, right? He's got to have his own identity.
Well, it's just better for him too, right? As a man. Be your own person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
From there, let's go over to everyone's favorite. It's Rapid Banter. In Britney Spears' new book, she reveals that she had rough sex with Colin Farrell. I don't want to hear about this, or what chapter was that on again?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh, my God. That's what it was about. That's what it was about. Justin Bieber was on the court over this past week, and he's got some game. If the Raptors would sign Bieber and Drake, what would you call them on the court?
The best?
Not bad. I was thinking shake and bake. Or, how about this? Pick and roll up the rim.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Right now, it's probably happening in a few hours. The big UFC 294. Usama versus Chimaev. Who you got in that one?
You know what? Usman took it on short notice. I got the other guy.
Same thing. Another big fight is Volkanovski versus Machinev. This is a different guy.
I'm going for the Volkanovski.
Yeah.
I want him to win. I like it.
He took it on 12 days notice.
Yeah,
though,
I know,
I think it's too much. And when they fight in Saudi Arabia, that time, that time frame, it's too much.
Messes with you.
It really
Humidity's
does.
a factor.
It really is. It really, really is. Staying on that kind of life, Logan Paul beat Dylan Dallas this last week in a celebrity boxing. Fun time or over the top? Did you see the finals on that? Like where they spilled into the ring?
Yeah, a little over the top.
Yeah, I think so. In the same card, it took a unanimous decision for KSI to beat Tommy Fury. Should Tommy leave boxing to his brother?
Yep.
Yeah, I got to admit, that's the last one for Rapid Banter. Tommy, I mean, good for you. He's getting his bank. He's getting his money.
Yeah.
But not really...
he's one of those guys, and this is what no one really talks about, is they talk about these YouTubers that finally fight a boxer and Tommy Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have a low-end boxer.
Right.
Who's lucky.
Yes.
That these YouTubers exist for him to fight. Because
Agreed.
I know he has gotten, from a boxing perspective, he's got 6-7 pro fights under his belt, and then these ones here. He's going to get eaten alive.
Yeah, if he's like, dude, if you're not knocking out, KSI and or, Jake Paul, yeah, I don't know if you're ready for the big light, man.
Yeah. I actually believe, I truly, truly believe that in a rematch, Jake Paul beats him.
Oh, I think so.
Now that Jake Paul kind of has that.
Yeah,
Jake Paul strikes me as a guy who's like, okay, I'll learn from this. I'll get back at it.
It looks like, I don't know if you saw the press conference after the Logan Paul fight.
It looks like it's going to happen.
It's going to look, but it looks like it's going to be Jake Paul KSI.
Oh, they've been teasing that one for a while.
I know, but they should do it. They should do it.
Yeah.
I think the main reason they do it, I guess Logan Paul and KSI are business partners, so it's a little awkward, right? If your brother is fighting your business partner.
That's what makes it amazing.
Who do you take?
By the way, KSI, what a sore loser.
Oh, he was.
Oh.
Listen, I get you're mad, buddy, but yeah, this is part of the game too, man. It is boxing. I believe there's a little corruption in that. I think. Well, maybe.
No, he lost that pretty
Me?
good.
It was me.
It was me. If it's you.
Me.
It's you.
Okay.
As Mitch.
All right, it's Maga Malaka time.
Do it.
Here we go. I got two of them for you.
Okay.
All right. First one, we talked about the NHL stars and the rankings, but, a lot of them are superstars that don't fruition into something. So I got overrated superstars, Maga Malaka.
Okay.
Or the song, it's been changed. Maybe we go through some music, different kinds of music.
I know. I think I like the overrated superstars.
Perfect. Let's go. It's Maga Malaka time. Here we go. Overrated superstars. Lynn Swann, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day.
Yeah, overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Malaka.
There's literally one big catch he made, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Here's one. Jose Canseco.
Maga.
Come
on.
He's a MAGA personality, but he is a way over. Like,
For
he's
sure.
a
No,
Malaka for sure when it comes
no,
to-
for sure. Like, definitely overrated, but he's still a Maga. Guy tried, and he tried it in the UFC as well.
One, I don't know if you guys are going to know this name, but it's Pete Maravich. Now, this guy was the #1 pick overall by our Green Bay Packers back in '89, if I remember. This guy was supposed to be the generational left tackle of all time. Didn't work out very well. Malaka it is. From there, let's go to...
I think him and Leaf made the Pro Bowl.
at the same time. Or they stole one. Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown.
Malaka.
Yeah. You know what, man? When you're crying and Michael Jordan is like, dude, there's no crying in basketball. That's not good. It's not good when the greatest player of all time is telling the guy that's supposed to be the next best player of all time,
Stop crying.
stop crying.
At
Not
the
good.
adult level.
Not good. Here's another name from back in the day. What'd you think of Stephon Marbury?
I honestly, I thought Malaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you talk about guys like Canseco overrated.
Right.
No, dude.
Yeah. He is still, I don't know if he's playing. I think he owns a team in China, but he went to China years later and played. Dominated the China League, right?
Yeah.
But here in the US of A, no.
Yeah, because guys like they got like it's weird. Like these guys got this weird, in like wrestling how you get like a push?
Yeah.
These guys got this weird hype push.
Yes, absolutely.
Out of nowhere.
I agree. Well, it's from the streets. He came from, he played in Coney Island, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I get it.
I get it. It doesn't translate the same. All right, couple more. Reggie Bush.
Maga.
See, I say Malaka. Great college player. Maybe one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But never took it to the NFL. Had flashes, and then his biggest thing, let's call it what it is, he dated Kim Kardashian.
It's a big thing.
He got Kardashian.
He got Kardashian.
2 more, 3 more.
Okay.
Yao Ming.
I gotta go Maga.
Yeah, I do
because
too.
everyone still respects him,
Yeah,
and he did have a few good years.
He
in
did,
there.
absolutely.
There's
Respect.
no question.
But you traditionally, when you think about the centers in the NBA, and you're like, you got your Hakeem, you got Wilt, you got Shaq. Yao's there, but not there.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really forget about him. That's
Yeah.
the only reason I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. He's a Maga. Here's one. Terrell Owens. Be careful.
Out of principle alone.
That's right.
For him.
Yeah.
It's you?
Me.
You.
Me.
You being you. Him
Me.
being him.
Me.
I'm going to go Malaka.
Yeah, you're a Malaka.
I'm going to go Malaka.
And you know what? Did you see what happened this week? Karma hit. A car hit him. Because he was getting a little mouthy on the basketball court, and somebody said, "Oh, I don't like the way you're talking to me."
That's right.
Now, let me tell you something. He's a large man. You will not win in a fight with that guy. And if you hit him and try to run, he will catch you and beat you.
That's right.
You do need a car to run him over.
But you
Karma.
got to give, as much as you hate him, you got to give him credit for the press conference.
One conference.
The press conference
One
in
conference.
the Eagles organization
Right.
was one of the greatest things ever.
Speaking of that guy, Tony Romo. Yep. Do it. I know what you want to do.
I know what I want to do. I don't have the strength
I know what you're going to
to do it.
Yeah.
You're so lucky, Romo.
Yeah.
You're so lucky. then not only are you a pretty good golfer,
Yeah.
but you're a hell of a commentator.
He's a better commentator than he was a
I
quarterback.
gotta give him Maga.
Yeah.
Just when I think you can't get any worse, you totally redeem yourself.
Yeah,
I
totally
gotta give
true.
him Maga.
Last one. Now, this one might be the greatest of all time because I think it's literally down the middle. Superstar status, Tim Tebow. It's down the middle.
It's Malaka.
You think?
Yeah.
See,
and I'm a
here's
Tebow
why.
fan. I'm still looking to draft him in fantasy.
I agree. But here's a guy, crushed it in college football, right? University, whatever. Crushed it. 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, right? Lives in the Heisman house with all those guys that you see on those commercials. Goes to the NFL, taken 15th overall. Somehow, some way, we're still not sure how that happened, and still was able to win a playoff game, which some of these guys never did. Example, Tony Romo.
I will never.
Do you see what I mean?
I will never forget the throw that knocked the Steelers out.
Yes.
It was the worst throw of all time.
It was there.
It hit the mark.
It hit the mark.
And I'm like,
this is what I mean.
And if you're going to tell me God doesn't exist, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helped him on that day.
I agree.
It's like angels in the outfield.
I agree. Listen, I'm going to say yes as MAGA only because of that one game. Everything else was horrible, but he won a playoff game in the NFL. He won one.
Didn't he go to the Jets as a tight end?
He went to the Jags as a tight end.
Jags.
Because Urban Meyer was there. He goes, hey, Urban. He goes, hold on. I'm finishing off a chat with this young lady here at the bar.
Yeah, sure. Just get on the field. Go find a place. Hey,
What's
guys,
your name again?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom Tuba. Go to the end there. You look big. Anyways.
That's a good one. There it is. Episode 277.
Listen, I'm just gonna. There's nothing more to say.
What's there to say?
Subscribe to the channel, YouTube, Instagram. It's at Sports Show Podcast, blue and white logo. Like Mitch said, episode 277. One for the books. We got to shove it in the locker because we got to hit the showers.
Hey, Jason. Oh, Tim. Yeah, right. Whatever. Go.
It's like the WWE. Bob, but my name's. It doesn't matter what your name is. Poor Tim Tebow, man. Was he?
What's that?
Was he dating Jessica Simpson? No.
No. That's Nick Lachey from the.
Yeah, but was Romo with her?
Oh, Romo was with that.
Yeah,
Jessica.
there
That's
it
right.
is.
That's
there
right.
it is.
Yeah, you got it.
But wasn't Tim Tebow dating someone famous after? Didn't he?
Well, you remember he was a Virgo, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by Virgo is, you know what I'm talking about. Not his astrological sign, if you will. So I don't think he dated a lot. Is where I'm going with that.
Right, but I thought after he cracked the egg, didn't he?
I don't think he ever cracked the egg until he got married, bro.
Oh, he's married.
Now he's married.
Oh, okay. He never went with a celebrity.
No. You know what? He's on College Game Day now, or he's on like maybe the ESPN or maybe one of them. Anyways, listen. He is like one step below Tom Brady, but that step's pretty steep, right?
Yeah, no, that's a big step.
It's a big step, but what I'm saying is he can't go wrong. Everything he touches turns to gold, this guy. You know what I mean?
True.
To some degree.
And he seems like a really nice guy.
Well,
Wasn't he a baseball guy, too?
He was a big baseball guy. That's right. Yeah,
Did he try to go to the MLB?
He did. He played in the minors for a little bit with the Mets.
With the Met, there we go.
Yeah, that's
there we
right,
go. It's
that's
all
right.
coming back to me now.
It's all
Coming back when you touch me like this.
Which would be my goal song by then.
Celine Dion.
That's a goal song.
Whoa. We gotta go.
We'll always love you.
Hip check. DSW, we're saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.